Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and well, I guess seeing of how Detective Pikachu is being considered as a pretty good movie based on a video game that came out this year, well, I guess it's time for, well, Angry Birds to take that portion. So yeah, those are the two words that I can think of for another movie based on a video game that's actually good. Angry Birds. Angry Birds. Yeah, I guess you can kind of see where I'm getting at. So yeah, I guess if anything, I think judging by the way I reveal it to you, those two words that I mentioned, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm going to be talking about this movie. Yeah, that being, of course, Angry Birds the Movie 2, or more particularly, the Angry Birds Movie 2, so yeah, to which, as some of you may or may not know, it is, of course, a sequel to the first Angry Birds movie that came out back in 2016, so yeah, oddly enough, the sequel just came out not too long ago, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about for this thoughts video, so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. So, now beforehand, I think I might as well make one thing perfectly clear before I talk about this movie. Now, if you have seen one of my Stardust app compilation videos that I did right around last year, one of the movies that I actually put on that list is, of course, the first Angry Birds movie. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't actually see the movie when it first came out because I just don't think it's really up or something that really piques my interest a bit. But right around a couple of years later, I actually did buy a DVD copy of that movie, and I decided to give it a fair shot. And for me personally, I think it's actually a pretty decent flick. Yeah, I mean, sure, some parts of it I just don't think actually work for the most part, and some of the jokes I thought were pretty lackluster, but the other jokes, I have to say, I did get a good laugh at, and it's even got some pretty good acting and some really great animation for the from what I'm seeing on film. So yeah, I guess if anything, I think regardless on how I feel about it, I still think the first Angry Birds movie I thought was actually a pretty decent flick, but it is one of those movies where I can say that I did have myself having a pretty good time with it, regardless on how I feel about it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say. And not to mention the game itself. I think I did remember playing the game from years back when it was around and stuff, and I actually thought it was pretty fun. And so yeah, it's so yeah, for me personally, aside from what I feel about the movie, I actually I am one of those people who did sucker in the game for a little while. So I guess you can say I did know a little bit or have myself a little bit of a history of Angry Birds for quite a while. So now we come to where we are right now with, of course, the sequel to the first movie, and yeah, oddly enough, as I mentioned before, or in case some of you may recall, I actually did go see it earlier today, depending on when this video is up, and yeah, I guess seeing of how, yeah, like I said, seeing of how I came straight off of seeing the first movie last year, I thought it makes sense if I would give the sequel a fair shot, just to see what they wanted to do for it, and I bet what. And I guess after seeing it myself, a lot of you guys are wondering, how do I feel about this movie after it first came out? Well, I know I'm going to sound crazy for saying this, but I actually thought the sequel to the Angry Birds movie was pretty good. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Yeah, I'm not crazy from what I'm saying to you guys. I actually thought sequel to the Angry Birds movie, I actually thought it was pretty good. Not the best I've seen for this year, but I actually thought it was actually a pretty good movie. So yeah. Yeah, that felt good. So yeah, I will of course confess. Yeah, I guess you seeing of how given to what I said, I really like this movie nonetheless. So yeah, to me, I actually think it's actually a pretty good sequel, and not to mention some of the problems I have with the first movie when I first saw it. I think they did a really good job fixing up some of the problems in this movie. So yeah, I guess if anything, I think it's actually a pretty good sequel nonetheless. Let alone a pretty good movie that I've seen from what I'm seeing. So yeah, I guess to go into a full detail on why I like this. First of all, I think I will say this. Much like how I feel about the first movie, I thought the acting in this film is actually pretty good. Yeah, I think I really enjoy some really good performances from Jason Sudeikis, who plays Red, Josh Gad, who plays Chuck, and I kind of forgot what was it? Bomb? Yeah, Bomb. So yeah, Bomb, or yeah, I do indeed apologize if I got his name wrong, which I do know he's played by Dane McBride, and so yeah, I guess if anything, all three of these actors playing the three main leads, I think they pull off some pretty good performances, as well as some of the others that I would like to mention, both old and new. So yeah, I have to say the acting in this movie, I have to say, is actually pretty good. I think they pulled off some pretty good performances from what I'm seeing, and not to mention the animation, I have to say, is freaking phenomenal. So yeah, I really love how visually Bird Island, Piggy Island, and of course the newest one that is introduced in this movie, Eagle Island, on how it looks, and I really love the amount of detail into not just the land sculptures, or just pretty much the main setting in particular, but also on the characters' movements from where I'm seeing it. I know it's pretty much on the cartoony side, but I will have to say, I think the way they pull it off is actually really impressive. I really love how well the animation has turned out. So yeah, I think pretty much almost like something you would see out of, well, the original Angry Birds game. So yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the animation, and I bet you're wondering, seeing of how I am a little bit half on some of the comedy, how do I feel about the comedy in this movie in particular? Well, I have to say, I think the comedy in this movie is actually pretty impressive. Yeah. So yeah, I guess if anything, I really love the comedy in this movie. I think it's actually really incredible. I think some of the, I think most, if not all of the jokes in this movie, I did get myself a good laugh at, but I won't spoil what ones that I actually crack up on. So yeah, I have to say the comedy in this movie I thought was actually really impressive. I really love how this movie provided some really great comedic timing, and I have to say, like I said, I did get myself a really good laugh out of all of the jokes in this movie. So yeah, it's pretty much what I have to say for the comedy. So. And everything else that I have to say, I think they did a really spot-on job with this one. Like I really love how the music and the soundtrack for this movie, I think, was actually really well mixed together, and I really love on how well it turned out. But I mean, come on, I guess seeing of how it is a Sony animation film from what I'm seeing, so. Yeah, I'm not joking. This is, of course, done by Sony Animation, which kind of actually decided to provide help with this movie, seeing of how they didn't do the first one, but only distributed. But yeah, I guess pretty much ever since Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm really glad that Sony Animation is, of course, trying to do better with some of their movies that they're putting out right about now. But not to say that I hate it in particular, the company itself. No, I'm really actually am glad that they're trying to step things up a notch and try to move away from their old formula and try to put out a new one to actually make good films. And yeah, much like how I felt about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I think this movie actually does pay off from what I'm seeing. And so yeah, I guess if anything, it's pretty much what I felt for the most part. But yeah, going back on topic, aside from the music and the soundtrack, which is very well mixed together, the cinematography to cook alongside the animation, I think is actually really well shot. I really liked on how it turned out. I really liked looking over some of the beautiful landscaping in most, if not all, of the shots, and yeah, I have to say it's even so yeah, there's nothing much else I could say. The cinematography in this film, I have to say, is actually pretty impressive. I really like how it turned out, and for the film's editing, I have to say, I think despite a few moments where it has some moments that are too fast or too slow, I think it's actually pretty crafted in a good way. Not great in my opinion, but it's still actually pretty good. And so yeah, I do have to say I really liked some really good aspects for this movie, and I guess if anything, I guess it does capture the look and feel of the game that it's based on. From yeah, to which is something I will also give the first film some credit for that. So yeah, I guess if anything, I really love on how this movie actually decided to stay true to the original game, while at the same time trying to add its own unique twist to it. So yeah, I guess if anything, I really liked on how this movie would going that direction. But I guess in terms of some things that I kind of find fault with this movie, well, I would have to say, I think the story for this movie, I will strongly admit, is kind of hard to follow from what I'm seeing. I think, like I said, I won't give away the entire plot for the movie from what I'm seeing, but although I think I will say parts of it, like of course, ever since the first film, as you recall in the game, both the birds and the pigs are actually fighting with one another, all because the pig stole the bird's eggs. So yeah, I will have to say pretty unique plot for the original game, and even this sequel, ever since the ending to the first film, I will have to admit it does actually carry out that unique feel to it. But I think pretty much the whole thing about the birds and the pigs trying to sell their differences and become friends and or allies to take down this other big baddie that wants to destroy both of their homes. I think it's like, I don't know, haven't we seen this a million times in other movies before? Like, haven't this been done before in other movies? Or maybe this movie couldn't think of a unique twist to this kind of formula? I don't know. I guess it's just pretty hard to follow from what I'm seeing. And I guess aside from the actors pulling off some pretty good performances, I will have to say the characters, I have to say, for while not bad in my opinion, I think some of them are actually really good. I think for me personally, I just don't think they actually gained a whole lot of development since after the first film. Like, I just don't think they've actually grown a whole lot. I just don't think they've actually gained a whole lot more development. Like I said, I think maybe they could have been developed a whole lot more for this one, so that way we can actually feel for them or actually follow them from what I'm seeing. But then again, I think it's just me nitpicking at best. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much how I feel for the most part. Yeah. That felt good. So yeah, I guess if anything, does that change my opinion on this movie? Well, of course not. So yeah, I guess overall, I actually thought the Angry Birds movie 2, I thought it was actually a pretty good sequel. Yeah, it's got some really good acting, really great animation, and some really impressive comedy from my perspective. And yeah, like I said, story-wise, I just don't think it's actually very strong, but I still think it's actually a pretty good movie, and I highly recommend it to all of you guys if you either like or hate the first Angry Birds movie. I mean, besides, I think given to what I just saw right around today, what do you think I would see instead? The live-action Dora the Explorer movie? I don't think so. So yeah, that movie is far past for me, and if you felt that way given to what I said, good for you. I know I'm not alone on this one. So yeah, like I said, overall, I thought the Angry Birds movie 2, I think it's actually a pretty good movie in my opinion, and I think it's actually a pretty good sequel to the first Angry Birds movie. So yeah, it's pretty much what I gotta say for that. So yeah, I guess if anything, like I said, I think it's something that I would recommend to you guys if you either like or hate the first Angry Birds movie. So I guess if this is something up your alley, then all I can say is, well, fly on over to see it for yourself, or in the case of, well, Angry Birds, just pretty much repel yourself by a slingshot to your local movie theater to see it for yourself. So yeah, I know I wouldn't normally do that if I have a slingshot, but I don't have a slingshot right about now, so that's pretty much what I gotta say. But yeah, like I said, if it's something up your alley, then I say definitely go check out the Angry Birds movie 2. I do fully recommend it to you guys if you either like or hate the first movie. And, well, I guess if you haven't seen the first Angry Birds movie, then go watch it right now before you can see the sequel. And if you have, then I think you're all good to go. So, hi, excuse me. Yeah. Sorry about that. My throat was a little bit dry. So yeah, it's pretty much what I gotta say. So for my final score, I am going to give the Angry Birds movie 2 a pretty good 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, I guess if anything, it's not really the best I've seen this year. I mean, I know I've seen other movies that are far better than this, or any of the others within that category. But I still think this movie is actually pretty good, and I highly recommend it to you guys. So yeah, I guess if anything, slingshot over to your local movie theater, or fly on over there to see this movie for yourself. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say for the Angry Birds movie 2. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this thoughts video, and as always, feel free to let me know in the comment section below if you have seen the first I nearly said the first Angry Birds movie again. So yeah, what I meant to say was Angry Birds movie 2. So yeah, going back to what I'm saying, if you have seen Angry Birds movie 2, then feel free to let me know about what you thought of it in the comment section below, as well as leaving me constructive criticisms and or advice on how I can improve my videos in the near future. And as always, feel free to send me an email if you want to book me for a con or event, or just have any questions for me in particular. Follow me on my social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and plenty of others if you want to keep up to date with me. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as turn on the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this thoughts video. I know it's actually quite a long one to get through, but hey, I've talked a whole lot of movies for a long time now, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I got oh excuse me, flubbed up on that one. Yeah, this is what I get for doing a whole entire video in one take. So, but yeah, I guess if anything, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.